Greetings and a warm welcome to Big Budget Business, where we highlight prolific individuals making strides in their respective fields. Today, we are talking about an exciting new e-commerce platform launched here in Botswana called BuyBuddy. And we are with the founder, Mr. Mooketsi Kalake. Mooketsi Kalake, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we'd first like to get an introduction. Like, who is Mooketsi Kalake, the individual?
Okay. Mooketsi Kalake is an individual who grew up, had the benefit of being exposed to various places from a young age due to my parents working for the government and being sent around. Came back to Botswana and finished my education, high school, completed my tertiary education here as well. And I hail from Kanya village, yes, but grew up Mokaburuni. And yes, well, that is Mooketsi Kalake in a nutshell. Yes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Okay.
So would you encourage, would you say that exposure to different places shaped you somehow?
Absolutely, absolutely. It did absolutely shape me. It's one of the reasons as to why entrepreneurship was one of the things that I wanted to get into. Yes, from an early age. Yes.
Wonderful. It's good that you say that, because my next question was going to be, tell us about Mooketsi, the entrepreneur. Where did this knack for entrepreneurship start? How did you get into what you are doing today?
With regards to entrepreneurship, from an early age with my friends, we used to actually basically come up with ideas, be it in fashion, be it in media, and we were inexperienced. We didn't have the knowledge of how to do so, but we always had the passion of trying to be able to create products that we could actually sell to individuals. Nothing ever materialized. I think that was because of a lack of maturity from a teenage age and growing up. But in terms of entrepreneurship, I've dabbled in a few things. For example, from early in my 20s, I actually wanted to create a data analytical company, a sports data analytical company, with regards to the footballing industry, which also kind of didn't materialize itself. But entrepreneurship has been a part of my life since my early teenage years and up until now. Yeah.
Okay, no, definitely. I picked up a few things there. You said that you guys always had ideas.
Yes.
And that's a big part of entrepreneurship, you know, having those ideas. But then you did say that, okay, nothing materialized.
Yes.
So implementation. So
Yep.
that talks to, you know, the entrepreneurial stages from ideation all the way to having the product and taking it to market. So
Absolutely.
you would say that it was what? The knowledge and the skills that you needed to develop for you to have succeeded in that?
In terms of the knowledge, I believe the knowledge was present.
Okay.
Not overly present,
Okay.
but it was present. But with regards to resources, yes, resources are a very fundamental piece of actually implementing an entrepreneurial idea or materializing it. And resources are very important in that regard, and therefore we didn't have them at that time. Yeah, and because of that, then you found that things didn't materialize.
Okay, certainly. Wow, so now let's talk about your e-commerce platform.
Yes.
BuyBuddy. What exactly is this business and what does it do?
Okay. BuyBuddy is a multi-vendor e-commerce platform, basically, which allows multiple vendors or multiple businesses to showcase their products or services on the BuyBuddy platform. And we like, as much as we are an e-commerce platform, we like to think of ourselves as a business development platform.
Okay.
Yes, so our emphasis is not necessarily on the products that you sell. Our emphasis is on the brand of the business that you have presented on the platform in order to sell. So basically, if, for example, if BigBudget was on the platform, we would brand, market, and ensure that BigBudget gets the exposure that it needs in order to grow. And this is why we call it a business development e-commerce platform.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So maybe let's simplify it just a little bit.
Yes.
By multi-vendor, now you're talking about me and all of my friends who have businesses.
Yes.
We can come to you as BuyBuddy. How do you help us?
Okay, in that case, we help you with onboarding onto the platform.
Yes.
Our prices are very competitive.
Okay.
So we help you with the onboarding. We ensure that if for example, some of your friends do not have a logo, we ensure that we want to make sure that you have an identifiable brand. So a logo is extremely important. Your company information is also placed in there in a short form of what the company is, what the business is, what it entails, what it's selling, what services it provides. Your contact details will be on there,
of course,
as well as any other social media information that you might want the public to know. And therefore, in that case, we are basically marketing you and your brand, and also allowing you to showcase your products and services on the application so that you can sell them through the application itself.
Wonderful. Okay, so just so I get a full understanding of this, you are saying that your services go beyond just being a marketplace where we can all just bring our products and place them there for people to sell them, right? You deal individually. I talked about me and my friends. My company, for instance, with all its products, you ensure that we're branded uniquely there on that platform, as well as all of them and their different products.
Absolutely.
So I feel as though it's my personal platform whilst I'm hosted on your platform.
Absolutely.
Oh, wonderful.
And the beauty about it on top of that is that you get self-management of it.
Oh, wonderful. So I get control.
You control absolutely everything with regards to your stock management. Being able to input stock with whenever you receive stock.
Yes.
Whenever the stock ends, and so on and so forth. And you do get reporting in that sense.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. I think we have spoken a lot about the vendor side of things. What about the consumers at home out there? How does BuyBuddy help them?
Okay, BuyBuddy will help them because we are looking primarily at. There's a lot of let me just move back to the vendor aspect briefly. With the vendor aspect, we are looking at products that are made by Botswana. Yes, we do not have what is called a drop shipping. So we're looking at products made by Botswana, and how that then benefits the consumer at home is that you are now going to be able to be exposed to what is Botswana.
Wonderful.
Yes. So a lot of people that I've met in my walk of life don't necessarily have that exposure with regards to being able to bring their products or services to the next Botswana. We will be able to, as a consumer, you will not only benefit from the quality services that are available from Botswana, but also you'll be able to see and experience the very many quality products and services from Botswana nationwide. So for example, if I'm here in Gaborone, eventually we will be able to give you products and services for people that are in Francistown. That is where we're looking to.
Wow, I think that's quite a commendable initiative that you have over there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking to Mooketsi Kalake, who is the founder of a local e-commerce platform called BuyBuddy. And he's speaking to different aspects, such as how you guys are focused or Botswana-centric. You want people with Botswana local products to bring their products so they can get them to other people.
Absolutely.
Wow, so in essence, with me, who manufactures dog food locally, I can come to you and place my products on your platform and reach out to others.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely going to speak to you after the show.
Please do.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, okay. Now that you've spoken about BuyBuddy, I think a lot of people who are doing their research about the whole business and tech aspects, you're someone in the tech space. Can you explain a few of these terms to us? Number one, fintech. We've been hearing this fintech. What does fintech mean?
Okay. Fintech is basically an abbreviation of the term financial technology, and basically it's the ever-evolving technology aspect of the financial industry. Yes, it includes many aspects with regards to various types of payments. It also looks into various types of banking. This is non-brick and mortar banking. Of course. Yes, there's so many aspects of it, and with regards to fintech, I think the reason why we keep on hearing a lot of it, especially in Botswana, is because it's a growing market in Africa. It's actually growing exponentially and fantastically, actually, to be honest. In South Africa, in Nigeria, East Africa as well, or Kenya. It's a growing market, and in Botswana, we are actually adopting it, and we are actually growing ourselves, because I can officially tell you that there is a Fintech association.
Oh, really?
Yes, there is a Fintech association, which is very new. I cannot delve into what it will be doing. I leave that to the senior members, but I am an inaugural member myself.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
I can also tell you that BuyBuddy has a sister company called BuyBuddy, which is also in the fintech business. Which developments about that will come out in the future.
We'll definitely have you in the studio to talk about that.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So fintech, you are right that the uptake of these financial aspects is growing here in Botswana, because almost every single financial institution, bank, is seeing how they can integrate cell phone banking, integrate apps within the technology space. So wow, it's definitely growing. But let's go back also to e-commerce. Would you say, especially as someone who's in that e-commerce space, that Botswana are buying more of their products online rather than in brick and mortar stores?
Yes. Globally, I'll start globally. Globally, it's a growing industry. It's a grown industry, in fact. Of course, you have Jeff Bezos's Amazon, which has boomed completely. Jack Ma's Alibaba, exactly. And in Botswana, it will grow. It has grown, and I see it growing because of the convenience. There's a lot of traffic. People are buying a lot of cars. There's a lot of traffic. Going from point A to point B in the city takes you a lot longer than it did before. And e-commerce assists. It brings convenience for people not to waste that time going from point A to point B.
As well as resources such as fuel and
exactly, fuel and everything. And the e-commerce market is actually, it's growing, in my opinion.
So as an entrepreneur, you saw that niche and decided, let me go for that.
Absolutely. To be honest, when BuyBuddy began, from the onset of COVID. Yes, the pandemic. So just prior to the first lockdown in Botswana, that's when I started development with BuyBuddy. Yes, just prior to that. And I had foreseen the need for it, and I'd seen publications that there will be a need for it. And this was not only in Botswana, also globally. So therefore, the idea sprung from the e-commerce idea of BuyBuddy sprung from the fact that we were going into lockdown.
Wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mooketsi Kalake, the founder of BuyBuddy, an e-commerce platform, talking about how he used the COVID-19 lockdowns and the like as an opportunity for him to fill a gap and assist individuals in attaining whatever products they required. Now, we were talking about these technological terms like fintech, and you did explain that's financial technology and it's ever evolving. Right, now let's talk about RegTech. What exactly is RegTech?
RegTech is also an abbreviated term for regulation technology. And when we speak of regulation technology, let me just go back to my professional background is that I'm in the risk and compliance industry. Yes. With regulation technology, you're looking at the implementation of technology in order to help regulation. So a lot of things in the world are regulated. You can't just wake up today and then say you're going to do something, because you have to do it in a certain way, and so on and so forth. There's guidelines that governments give us in order to do certain things. Exactly. So in that aspect, with regulation technology, it's the inclusion and involvement of technology in order to regulate people. And it's not from the regulators themselves. It's from private companies that assist other companies in order to adhere to regulation. I'm sure you've heard of KYC.
Know your customer.
KYC needs to be done when you're at the bank. KYC needs to be done with other financial institutions and as well as insurance companies. Regulation technology or RegTech, there's companies that create programs or software that help with KYC implementation.
Of course,
and so on and so forth. And that is what we call RegTech, yes.
Wow, that's very interesting. And I think I've noted that as someone with an interest in the construction sector, our regulatory bodies for professionals within the construction industry, for instance, your engineers, your quantity surveyors, architects, and they're starting to implement, for instance, databases for registration and for their online. So that's part of the RegTech. You applying online, if you're an engineering professional, you don't necessarily have to go to, fill your forms manually.
Absolutely.
So that's all part of RegTech.
That is all part of RegTech, yes.
Wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful. Man, that's very interesting. Now, what would you say to date have been BuyBuddy's biggest challenges?
The biggest challenge was, as mentioned earlier, we started development prior to the first lockdown. So you're looking at late March last year. And development has continued up until today. But we are complete. We are on the platforms.
And operational?
Yes, we are actually taking in customers.
Great.
And updates are coming in as and when. But the most difficult part of it is that it took long. And the reason why it took long is because some of the things that I wanted to implement into the business itself we weren't able to implement, courtesy of regional, what's for the lack of a better word, our region doesn't get the services that we wanted to implement. So I've since changed developers. I was using a different developer before, and now I've changed to a different developer now. A company called VerboSec.
VerboSec, lovely.
So
we've actually had them on the show, huh?
Yes, indeed.
Great.
Yes, indeed. So VerboSec are the ones that are developing, and they now have the ability to input the things that we wanted to actually put in. Yes, the features that we wanted to put in, and so they're currently doing so. We are operational at this point in time. We are taking in customers, and the updates will be happening almost every day with regards until everything runs seamlessly. But this is e-commerce and technology, and because of that, you're not always 100%. There's no company that can tell you that they're 100%. Even Facebook is not always at 100%.
Of course.
There's always developments that need to happen. And those developments that will happen are all for the benefit of the customer, as well as the vendors, as well as any other stakeholders within BuyBuddy.
That's great. So you have a multidisciplinary approach in terms of who should benefit from this development.
Absolutely.
Wow. So a lesson that I picked up from our entrepreneur here is, things take time. So let's try and be patient. Number 2, development. Things should also evolve with time. Make sure that your enterprises are developing. Check out what's happening in these streets and see how you can develop your business so that all your stakeholders can develop. Number 3, he did mention an organization that he is working with locally. So local collaboration. You might be looking for whatever services that you want outside, and yet they are here locally. So let's do our research and collaborate locally. Now, as an individual, or perhaps as BuyBuddy, are there any societal or community development interests that you guys have?
Not at present. Unfortunately, this is because we are a startup. But it's definitely in the pipeline.
Wonderful.
Yes, because the community is what ensures that we are at the top of our game. We are nothing without the community.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and so now how can we contact BuyBuddy? How can we get our products there? As consumers, how can we buy from there? And how can we follow your journey, Mooketsi Kalake?
Okay, we are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We are also on WhatsApp as well. You can find us at buy.buddy on Instagram, as well as at buy.buddy on Facebook. Yes.
All right, wonderful. All right, and you personally? Or you don't want to be
me personally, please the contact information for the company is there on the platforms. If you need to get through to me, please do talk to whoever you'll be talking to, our operations people, and they will get you through to me. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Mr. Mooketsi Kalake of BuyBuddy, let me thank you so much for having come to the studio.
Absolute pleasure, BigBudget, and thank you for having me.
The pleasure was ours. Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. It was Mr. Mooketsi Kalake, the founder of BuyBuddy, a local e-commerce platform. It's a very interesting aspect. Let's see how we can get in touch with it. So before we close the show, just give us 2 minutes. We'll go for an ad break and be back with our 2-minute tip. Right, so tonight's 2-minute tip. As we interact with different individuals and groups in our business and professional settings, it's important for us to develop a trait termed emotional intelligence. So what is this aspect of emotional intelligence? Simply put, emotional intelligence refers to our capacity to be aware of, control, and express our emotions intelligently and empathetically in different settings. So you will note that there are 3 aspects to emotional intelligence. Number 1, awareness of. This basically means, do I understand how I am feeling in a particular context? Number 2, control. Am I effectively and efficiently managing my emotions in different types of settings? And number 3, expression. How exactly am I using my emotions in these different particular contexts? So let's see how we can develop this aspect of emotional intelligence in our different interactions with people, because we need to be aware of, control, and also express our emotions appropriately. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful show. As always, it's a pleasure for you to have been watching us. From me, BigBudget, and the team that makes it happen, Black Network, Moana Pictures, it's good night and God bless. And never forget that you were born for so much more.